Hi, welcome back to the Pain and Revival podcast. Hope everyone is having an amazing day. Today, I today I do not have a special guest. I'm so used to saying that now, but I do not have a special guest. It's just me. But next week I surely will. And I would just like to say before I go ahead and get into it that make sure if you're on YouTube, make sure you are liked, subscribe. You're liking, subscribing, and leaving comments yeah, and turning your notifications on. I didn't know this, but you can turn your notifications on for a YouTube channel, and you will get a notification every time I upload a new video. Also, for Spotify, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast, make sure I think I'm on Amazon Music and a few other things. But if you're on those type of platforms, make sure you're you're following and you are leaving reviews and ratings. Also, one more announcement. Make sure you are following my Facebook and Instagram page. My Facebook is Pain and Revival Podcast, and my Instagram is Nevaeh_Pain and Revival Podcast. To get into today's episode, I would just like to ask you one question. Do you have the courage to embrace failure? And failure is something complicated, but I think the way to get over quote unquote failure is to understand that each setback is not a blockade. It's just a stepping stone to okay, a stepping stone to your aspirations. I don't know why I went into that, but okay, a stepping stone to your aspirations. And also, side note, I don't believe in failure, which is weird, but I do believe in it, but I don't think that I think failure is misunderstood, and I think that the only time you ever really fail is when you give up. Failure is not failure unless you give up. So just because something happens doesn't mean you failed, doesn't mean just because you went off the way that you thought it was going to happen doesn't not mean you failed. Please get that through your head. You are not a failure. Just because you made one mistake, you are not a failure. Just because you did one thing wrong in the job doesn't mean you can't do your job correctly. It just means you made a mistake. And we're humans and we do that. No one is perfect. As much as, especially with like celebrities and stuff like that, it may seem like their life is so perfect and everything's great, but and even people you look up to, like I know I have people in my life who I look up to, and until recently I thought they had perfect lives, and then I've started to talk to them and they in fact do not have perfect lives. And I know it's such a shock. I don't know why it's a shock, but it shouldn't be. No one's perfect. Everyone's been through something. And especially with celebrities, like they only show you what they want you to see. So of course they're not going to show you the loss and the heartache and all that stuff. They don't want you to see that. They're not vulnerable enough to let you see that, which is kind of why I started this podcast, because I think we need a lot more of seeing the vulnerable side of people, and that people aren't perfect and people have been through stuff, and you're not alone in the world. I know it may seem like it, and sometimes it really hurts and you just feel like the world is against you, but the world is not against you. The world is for you. Everything happens for a reason, and it can be hard to realize that sometimes. But the fear of failure kills dreams, and it kills hope, and it creates lots of problems in people's lives. And fear can age you, fear can just hold you back, and it's something that fear can hold you back from doing something that you know within yourself, like you believe in yourself so much. And notice that everyone believes in themselves mostly, and fear will hold you back from something that you know you're capable of doing, but it will paralyze you from not doing it, because it's just that it's fear. Fear will paralyze you. I mean, it really will make you feel like you cannot do anything in life and that everything you do is dumb. And it's not. It is not. Not everything you do is dumb. Sometimes you're going to look stupid and you're going to be like, you know what? That was not the best look for me. I shouldn't have done that. But people are going to forget it. They're not gonna remember. The only person who remembers that dumb thing you did 20 years ago is you. No one remembers that, and I bet you if you bring it up to someone who was there, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about? I don't remember that." And if they do remember it, laugh about it. Everyone makes mistakes. It's okay, I promise. Like, and I'm one of those big people, like, I love to look back on the stuff that I've done and be like, "Wow, you're so dumb. Why would you do that?" But if you do that, I mean, you're crippling yourself and you're making yourself not able to do anything in life, and that's just not the way to go. Most people will continue to live quiet lives of desperation and never amounting to anything serious in life. And they might try to do something they really want to do one time and they'll fail, and then they'll go back to doing what they were comfortable doing, telling themselves and other people that it doesn't work and that it's impossible. And many people hope for great things to happen to them, but they don't really believe it. Sometimes, and if you don't really believe it, it's not going to happen. You have to truly believe in yourself, and your belief in yourself can't come from other people. So no matter how much someone else believes in you, it doesn't matter, because until you believe in yourself and say, "You know what? I believe that I can do this. I believe that I can whatever it is you want to do." You won't be able to do it. No, like, I went for a long time of many, many people believing in me, and I just didn't believe them. So I never got to reach that purpose of the stuff that I can do. And even now, like, there's still stuff that people tell me that I could do, and I still don't believe it. And I'm like, "You're crazy." And please never call your mentors crazy. If your mentor says you can do something, you can do it. I promise. They won't lie to you if they're good mentors. That's another thing for life advice. Just get a good mentor, but don't try to be them. Please don't try to be them. I went for a couple of years, probably a year or two ago. I was really trying to be my mentors. And funny thing is my mentors are all different. They all have different personalities, and obviously they're all different people. But don't try to be them. Just take the things from them that you really appreciate and incorporate it in yourself. Don't change yourself, but incorporate it in yourself and kind of mix it with your personality, and it will create something beautiful. I'm never going to be my mentors. I never am. And the thing is if you're striving to be your mentors, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're going to lead to failure, and you're just going to not believe in yourself. And a lot of people, something I just thought about is a lot of people talk about hope. And the thing is you can't control hope. But when you get belief is what you harness through hard work and dedication. And it's something that you know what you're capable of, because you've gone there several times in the dark times. So my belief is just believe in yourself. When people when I left my mom, it wasn't because I didn't call defects on myself because I hoped they would do something. I didn't hope. I believed. I knew. I told myself they would. I didn't give myself any other option. I didn't say, "Oh, I hope they do something." I didn't just sit around and be like, "Oh, I hope I don't get hit today." I believed in it, and I said, "You know what? I'm done. I don't want this." And I don't say that to brag. I say that because you can do the same exact thing. You can do that for yourself. If you don't want whatever is happening to you to happen, believe in yourself and say, "You know what? I'm done. This isn't going to happen to me anymore. I won't put up with it." And you can refuse it. You do not have to sit there in any type of relationship, whether it's your parents, your siblings. Lots of people say, "Oh, well, it's your family." Okay, I don't care. That I cut off my whole mother's side of the family and most of my dad's side. So understand that you can cut off anyone. It's going to be hard and it's going to be lonely, and you're going to be like, "You know what? I feel like I have no one in the world." But you're going to find your people. I found my people. DE is my people. Chiropractic, everyone who's involved in chiropractic, almost everyone, I love. And they get me and they understand me. And I have my grandparents and I have other friends, and they get me and they understand me. And you will find your people. I know that it's going to take some healing in you first. If I never worked on myself for even the short amount of time that I have, healing's a process, I wouldn't have been able to open up to my mentors and talk to them. It just wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have believed in myself. And it's really hard to open up, and it's challenging, but just think of the way how freeing it feels. If you're in a toxic relationship of any sort, no matter who it's with, you can change that. And I know it feels like really hard, and it's like you're going to feel alone, and you are. I mean, there's no way around that. There's going to be hurt, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Everyone's going to go through something in their life that's going to break them completely. But it's also going to free you. Once something breaks you so bad, I can't even explain it. Once you've been, like, your heart has been smashed into thousands of tiny pieces, something about it is just so freeing. Sometimes you have to make a decision that it's going to break you. And I posted about this. It's going to break you. But at the end of the day, it's the most freeing situation. And I can't explain the feeling I felt when I got in the car to leave my mom. The last time I saw my mom, I felt so free. And then when I finally started talking about my story and telling people what happened, I never felt more free. The reason that I tell my story is not for sympathy, or pity or any, I don't want that. I'm doing it for me and for you. And I say that because I'm doing it for me because it frees me. It frees my mind and it frees my soul. But I'm doing it for you because I want you to see that, yeah, stuff happens, and sometimes really bad stuff happens, but at the end of the day, you can't let it hold you down. You have to use it as a stepping stone to your aspirations and to your dreams. And whatever it is you want to achieve, every little failure and setback that happens to you, you have to use it as a stepping stone to your dreams and aspirations and goals or whatever. It's hard. It really is. And I keep saying that in this episode is life is hard and stuff is hard, and especially stuff worthwhile. Like, anything worthwhile is hard. It's not going to come to you easy. Nothing just comes to you. It's going to take time, and it's going to take repetition. And, the path to success isn't a straight walk into the sunset. It's a journey punctuated with challenges that ask, do you really want this? And your greatest moments won't always stem from triumphs. Often they happen from defeats. And in these defeats, we learn to rise up. Just, I don't, something I don't surrender to your struggle. Don't surrender to the pain that's happening to you. Pain is temporary, but giving up is forever. Never settle for good enough when you know inside you live for something better. You didn't come this far just to accept whatever. That's something, like, talking about I'm going to talk about my mom. My mom, she always settled for men who were, well, he's good enough. He does this well enough. This is fine. That's not enough. And that goes for anything in life, whether it's relationship or friendships. It doesn't matter. Nothing. It shouldn't be good enough. Know your worth and add some tax. And I didn't know what that meant until recently. And someone, probably about 2 years ago, someone told me about it. And what that means is know who you are and know what you deserve, and then expect a little more. And if you don't get that little bit more, question it and be like, why am I not getting this? If you don't love yourself and you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to love you, and no one else is going to believe in you. And even if they do love you, and even if they do believe in you, you're never going to feel it, and you're never going to know. Because you're going to sit there and think every single night at the end of the day, after so many people tell you they love you and they appreciate you and they know you have something for your life, and you're going to sit there and you're going to say, why would they love me? What is it that I have inside of me that I could do X? And you're going to do that every single day of your life until you finally get back in the game and you remind yourself who you are and what you can do. You can do anything. Shoot for the stars and then go higher. But I will tell you, the higher you shoot, the harder the fall. The harder the fall. The higher up you go, the harder the fall is. And you're going to have to get over that. You're going to have to get over the fact that pain is going to come. I'm not finished with pain in my life. There's going to be so much more pain that's going to come to me. But you know what? I'm not going to let it hold me back, because if I let it hold me back, I'm going to disintegrate to nothing. I'm going to become worthless, and I'm going to become something that has no purpose in the world. I'm going to become unfunctional. And that's not appropriate. And yeah, there are people out here, not that are worthless, that's probably the wrong word, but just unfunctional. They don't do what they're supposed to, and they don't reach their maximum potential. And the maximum of your potential is what you set on yourself. If you say, I want to do this, you can do that, but you have to truly believe in yourself. You have to instill it in your mind that you are going to get whatever it is that you want to get. I'm just so tired of seeing people give up. I really am. And it breaks my heart because I never gave up. Every once in a while I think about giving up. I'm like, what's the point? What is the point? But you know what? In 10 years, I'm going to look back and be like, wow, that was the point. That's incredible, Like I said, you came this far for a reason, Sorry, my brain was blanking. You came this far for a reason. The odds are in your favor. You just have to believe in it. And if you don't believe, it's not going to happen. Don't ever stop working. I would rather aim for the stars and not get them than to not aim at all. I would rather go after everything and not get it than not go after it all. I would rather try and fail than not try at all. I do not want to live with the idea that is, I don't want to, at the end of the day, I don't want to go to sleep at night and be like, what would have happened when I'm 80, 70, 60 years old? I don't want to lay down at the end of the night and be like, I wish I would have done more with my life. I am going to go after every single dream I have. And you should too. There's no reason you shouldn't. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm probably the most unqualified person to be having to do this podcast. But you know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Confidence is built with time. Fake it till you make it, really. It's so true. Fake it till you make it. When you are doing something like a podcast, or you want to start something, or you want to go out and public speak, if you don't believe in yourself, just pretend. Pretend like you believe in yourself. That's what I do. I pretend like I think I'm doing great. Do I really think it? Sometimes not. But at the end of the day, I have to get over it, because I have to shoot for the stars. I have to shoot higher for the stars. I'm shooting for the planets. Like, I'm shooting for a whole nother galaxy. And you should too. There's no reason you shouldn't. But you know what? Like I said, that means I'm going to have a really hard fall. I'm going to go through some stuff that's going to be like, is it really worth it? And the truth is, it's really worth it. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to go to bed at night and realize I tried my hardest that day. So just to wrap it up, I think the key message is do your best and shoot higher than the stars. Don't set a limit on yourself. Tell yourself you can do anything you want, because you can. And I believe in you, and I love you, and I appreciate you. Even the people I don't know, I love you. I have love for every single person in the world. I have love for different people at different levels, but I love you, and I believe in you. I believe in every single person. I don't care what you've been through, what you've done. I believe that you can accomplish whatever it is you want in life. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you got something out of this after my long tangent. Half the time I don't think it makes sense, but hopefully you did get something out of it. And make sure you're tuning in next week at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. And Make sure you're commenting and liking, I mean, and thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.